All right, turning now to Bill Cosby in court. He arrived for the first day of his trial with his TV daughter by his side. ABC's Lindsay Davis is outside the courtroom in Pennsylvania, where she spoke exclusively with Keisha Knight Pulliam about standing by her TV dad. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Amy. Keisha Knight Pulliam has said all along that the allegations simply don't reflect the Bill Cosby she has known. She was inside the court yesterday, so were several of Bill Cosby's accusers. One of them took the witness stand, and the cross-examination was brutal. Right at Bill Cosby's side for his first day of court, Keisha Knight Pulliam, who played the youngest daughter, Rudy, on The Cosby Show.
Like Daddy.
It was just really important for me to be here to show my support for Mr. Cosby. At the end of the day, it's the jury's job to discern the truth.
Cosby was very engaged and attentive in court, often facing the jury during opening arguments. Prosecutors say this case is about trust, betrayal, and the inability to consent, while the defense argues that Andrea Constand, the former Temple University employee who says Cosby drugged and sexually assaulted her, has changed her story multiple times, pointing out that after initially telling detectives she never reached out to Cosby after the 2004 incident, phone logs indicate she called him 53 times. Cosby says the encounter was consensual. And while the 79-year-old has been accused by more than 50 women of drugging and or sexual misconduct, jurors will only hear from 2 accusers in this case. On Monday, a former assistant to Cosby's agent cried as she painstakingly testified that in 1996, Cosby made her take a pill that she said made her feel like she was underwater before sexually assaulting her. But Cosby's attorney pounced, drawing attention to multiple inconsistencies in her story, claiming she had selective amnesia. The prosecution's first witness today is a forensic toxicologist. Now, based on the prosecution's opening statement, they're likely to testify that the symptoms that Andrea Constand experienced after taking the pills that Bill Cosby gave her were consistent with Benadryl or Quaaludes. Amy.
All right, Lindsay, thanks so much. And let's bring in ABC News Chief Legal Analyst Dan Abrams. And Dan, Andrea Constand may testify as early as today, but as we just heard in Lindsay's report, that other accuser took the stand yesterday. How important was she in this case?
She's critical because, look, we know the potential problems with Andrea Constand's testimony, which is it took her a while to report it. There are inconsistencies in her story. This happened a long time ago, etc. If the jurors believe the other woman, they look at Andrea Constand's testimony in a completely different way. If they believe her, then everything Andrea Constand says may ring true. Everything Andrea Constand says maybe is viewed through giving her the benefit of the doubt. Without that, it's just Andrea Constand on her own and whether these jurors believe her or not.
We heard in Lindsay's report that the defense pounced on that other witness. Is that risky?
Yeah, it's always risky, right? When you've got someone who's in tears on the witness stand talking about what she says happened to her in a horrible experience, it's always risky, but they had to. The defense had to go after her, and they had to go after her hard here.
You have said that this is a tough case for the prosecution to prove. You still believe that?
It's still a really tough case. I mean, it's the amount of time that's passed, it's potential credibility issues with key witnesses, and it's the fact, again, that they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. But don't forget it. We're talking about a case where Bill Cosby could die in prison.
Yeah, he's 79 years old.
If he's convicted. And I think sometimes we forget the stakes here when talking about this case.
All right, Dan Abrams, thanks so much.